This is like a pilot episode, a pilot kind of podcast, because we have no real idea what we want to do at all.
Yeah.
I guess we just kind of wing it anyway. I should probably introduce you to whoever else is here on the microphone with me. This is Ollie. He's a friend of mine.
No.
He brought the podcast idea.
I don't know who you are.
You don't know who I am?
No.
Well,
If someone's listening to this, please send help.
fuck. You're not supposed to tell them anything. So, Ollie came with the podcast idea.
Like
And
a package deal.
like a package deal, and we were like, alright, let's give it a try. So we've given it a little bit of a try. We've been meaning to give it a try.
This is us trying it
This is
out.
right now is us trying it. We've been meaning to give it a bit of a try for a while, but things just kept stopping us from giving it a try because
We're adults.
we're adults and we're busy.
Well, yeah.
And I felt the need to get at least one more episode of Game of Thrones out before I brought this out or something. So now we're podcasting and we're just going to talk about random stuff. It's a bit of a pilot, see how it goes. No real plan to what we're going to talk about. Me and Ollie sometimes have some really deep conversations, really.
We do. Yeah.
We like get into a bit of a strange state of mind and thought process where we speak about some of the weirdest, most unusual things in real world, but also the really weird things that are just like in the back of our minds haunting us on a daily basis.
That's my entire life. It's a waking nightmare.
A waking nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd like to live that life, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you.
My life.
Like, just constant. God, that sounds awful. Just constant, freakish, scary thoughts every day.
Hey, it's not that scary after a while.
You just get used to it.
You do.
That's what psychos say
It's
as
like,
well.
if I were a lion tamer, I'd be desensitised to lions. So
True.
So I'd probably feel pretty okay around a lion.
True. And if I was a YouTuber, I'd be desensitised to putting my face on camera.
Yeah, true. I don't like that.
I hate it. Which is why I'm podcasting without a camera on today.
Even though you wanted a camera.
Even I did originally want a camera.
This
but
idea was just alien to you.
it was. I mean, like the podcasts that I'd seen before were people who spoke about certain topics, and like the Joe Rogan one where they had a camera and they filmed each other. But it's like you don't need to do that. Because I found from it, just listening to podcasts as well, like rather than watching them speaking, like actually just listening to them while I'm doing something, you have a space for your own imagination to kind of recreate on how they're saying the things that they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's like giving you an insight almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I quite like the fact that you can.
I wonder what the
Create
percentage of people watching the video just to listen in it, like what that would be, or the ratio.
Good point. What just to listen to it, or
like just sat there watching it on a screen, or sat there just listening to it doing something else, like cooking or.
see, I know my girlfriend always watches podcasts and she listens to them rather than watches them. Like she'll be doing a makeup or she'll be playing Fortnite or something.
See, I listen to them unless I'm showing them someone, and then watch it, and then I'm like, this is entirely different.
Yeah, it really is, because you don't. I guess when you're relaying it, you don't remember those parts, because instead of your ears doing like the key part of your memory, it's your eyes instead. And watching a video with your eyes rather than using your ears to listen to it like in a primary way, your brain gets confused and goes, I haven't seen this bit before.
No, I want that. I can't remember what you said, but because it were a weird sentence, but I want that on my wall. You know, have you have live, laugh, love and stuff.
Yeah.
And like calligraphy on a wall.
you want.
I want my ears. Your ears do the ear thing, and then it lets your eyes do.
It was more like when your ears are the key thing for memory. So you're having when your ears do the key thing for memory, but your eyes are now watching us. You want that on calligraphy on your wall.
I'll do my next tattoo.
Where would you put it? On your chest?
On my foreskin.
That's disgusting. That would be a painful tattoo as well. I don't want to speak any more about that because that kind of placement for a tattoo actually goes through me. As well as Ollie just coming up with this podcasting idea, he also said, and he had the genius idea of saying, "Why don't you post a question, original content?" He also said, "Why don't you ask your YouTube audience for questions and stuff?" And I did warn him. I said, "Look, you're either going to get some really stupid questions or you're going to get people asking about my reactions all the time."
Yeah, he said specifically, "My fans are already..."
You're going to drop me in it here, aren't you?
No, he didn't actually say that. But you didn't deliver, so good job.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I anticipated. I did have a couple of people saying, like, where are your reactions and you should react to this and that. So those people I'm just going to ignore.
Oh, I thought you should...
You think I should clarify what's happening?
Clarify.
Well, I'll do it really briefly because the people who do watch my reactions can also watch my reactions to get an answer too. But basically, I'm really busy with my work. I can't really find the time to do it, to be able to balance my work, social life, and more work. And also, I'm kind of at a stage where, because I did so much editing back in February for the entire month of March because I was away, I burnt myself out quite heavily. I do have another video on my YouTube channel which explains the mindset and mind frame that I was in when I was making the video. But yeah, I kind of burnt myself out, and they are coming. Like, I've done episode 6 now for Game of Thrones, so I'll be doing episode 7 really soon, whenever I can find the time. But I'm not gonna just plaster them out because I do want people to be able to pick up the reactions. They're getting claimed like a motherfucker at the moment, though. They're definitely...
You should stream it.
I should stream it.
Just do like
Twitch stream it.
Do an uncut 3-hour long.
To be fair, right,
Game of Thrones
this is something that people have recommended to me as like a Patreon kind of thing, because I started Patreon and they said you could have a level where they're paying like $2 a month to you to have like the full stream.
Well, you can do
of
the
the
YouTube
reaction.
sponsor thing now as well.
Yeah, you can. That's true.
So sponsor Jay.
Yeah. No, I'm not feeling. I can't. I tried to do the Patreon thing.
For it,
you'll not get shit at all.
Give him money.
Just give me more money because you really appreciate. And you know what? Actually, as horrible and like kind of narrow-minded as it sounds, because I'm so busy with my other work, my only incentive to really make more reaction videos outside of Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead would be the sponsorship money that I would get.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Like, money is an incentive in everybody's life, and weirdly enough, YouTube, being a YouTuber, I think puts you in a frame of mind where you think you're ripping your fans off, because these are people who just want to see entertainment from you. They don't want to have to pay for it, and if they do, you're ripping them off, and you feel a bit guilty for it. But at the end of the day, those fans are also...
It's just free media catching up with the rest of the market.
Yeah.
Where these people that are coming around, like these people that are coming around that are talented, or, you know, they've got an audience because they've built up a certain fan base based on what they do.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't they charge people when basically the rest of the industry
is charging? And that makes sense as well, because all we were getting as YouTubers was money from adverts, and sometimes the content, especially that we create as reactors, which will be even restricted even more after the whole EU CD thing.
Oh yeah,
which we can speak about as well, because I think I've got some notes somewhere on it.
I looked it up briefly,
but it is literally like they're the only things that we can make money from, and like adverts, and when we get copyright claims, it's a bit of a bummer because then we stop earning, and that's not really beneficial, or it's not ideal for us to be able to, because we can't. Then we feel like we can't continue doing the videos because there's no reward out of it, especially if we're relying on it for like an extra money or an actual living wage.
if you've committed to it and that's the life that you've decided you want to be a YouTuber, which why?
I know, unless you're like already up there before YouTube went to shit.
If you've got the resource to be able to fund something like that, because I can't imagine it's cheap.
No.
Like to start up, like just buying equipment, and then the more fans you get, it's too much work for
it is
not
a lot of
reward.
Like you've got to think, when me and Brad started the reactions on my old channel,
yeah,
I like had less than 1,000 subscribers. Like I had a couple hundred.
I'd say when you're younger though, it's a lot more exciting and fun.
It definitely is.
You're creating something for the first time and you're putting it out to people, and people are like giving you feedback on that, and that's exciting.
Yeah,
because
that's what we found. Like we got some really avid viewers, like people who really understood where we were coming from, really appreciated his work, and me and Brad were like, not to put it out there, but we were a part of the OG Walking Dead reactors, and we used to get hundreds of thousands of views, and we had a really avid platform of viewers and fans, and then all of a sudden everybody started reacting, and it's kind of like it's got really saturated, and I'm not getting half as much views anymore. But we also like I built my fan base on my old channel to like 6,000 subscribers, and then because I got freaking copyright claims and I got banned from creating content more than 15 minutes and shit like that, I had to make a new channel, which is the one I use now, and I've got, wait, how many subscribers do I have? I've got like
you've got more than 3.
I've got over 14,000 subscribers, so I've built that up in, you know what, actually, when did I start making these freaking videos?
How many of these things are other accounts that you've made to subscribe to?
All of them. So this took me 3 years on this channel. The Burgin Reactions channel took me 3 years to get up to 14,000 subscribers, and even then you can see the decline in the views that I used to get. Like 67,000 views 3 years ago.
Yeah, but that video is also 3 years old.
Well, yeah, exactly. And they're quite long videos, and I think one of the reasons why I used to get a lot of views is because I basically uploaded the entire episodes, and people liked that. And then I stopped doing that, and as you can see, later down the line, later down the line, as in closer to us, close to present time, I'm uploading like 10-minute videos, 15-minute videos, Walking Dead especially, 20 minutes, and people aren't liking it. Like that one, that's let's find Walking Dead episode 16, right? Episode 16 is like, that's the season finale of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That kind of shit, I used to get 50,000+ views. 2,500 views on that.
How long's that video?
That's 33 minutes. And that was from 3 months ago. So it's like, it's a massive change.
Well, the only thing I could say on that is that now, because YouTube spread like it has, and it's become like a pretty big media platform, people like I do it. I don't know about you. I don't watch TV anymore. I like broadcast television. I don't. It's shit.
Yeah, it is. It's the same shit regurgitated and repeated.
But it's drying up.
Yeah, it is.
But it's because like how our site has grown. We like view that family time sat in front of the TV as like an integral part of the day. Like, everybody's done for the day. We all crowd around TV.
Yeah.
Eat shit, whatever. But that's been replaced by YouTube now, and for me at least, I prefer long videos because I don't have, I can just sit there and watch it then.
Yeah, I mean,
I can zone out, and then I'm focused on the video. And if it's done every 2 minutes or like a 10-minute video or something, it's like just when you're starting to settle into it properly, it's finished. You've got to find a different video. So I've gone from like preferring shorter videos to now I prefer when someone's like cut up a compilation or something.
Yeah.
And just, it's like an hour long, and it's an hour long content. You can just sit that for an hour, and it's just like,
There's so many times where I just opened so many new tabs and windows. Yeah. Well, mostly all new tabs, and just go through all the videos and just watch YouTube for God knows how long on an evening.
I like playlists as well. I'm just impatient, basically.
Yeah.
I don't like having to wait for the next one. I'd just rather have it all there so I can like binge watch it, basically.
The watch later playlist thing is.
Mine's full and I've not watched any of them.
Yeah, I'm like that as well. Sometimes I've got to clear them out just because I've forgotten and got bored. Like, no interest in it whatsoever anymore.
I remember the first video I put on that, and it were a video where someone with like weird big thumbs and they had like a rubber band around the face. He was like pulled it forward and shot into his eyes.
Why?
And it made me laugh a lot. So I saved it.
That's one of those things though where it's like other people's pain is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I can watch fail videos and like people breaking their legs and like I squirm.
See, if it's an accident, I feel less like it's less funny.
Yeah, because you feel sorry for them.
But when someone's just shooting a rubber band into their eyes,
it's just like you've asked for that, mate.
It's like, well, you knew what was going to happen, so why shouldn't I?
Right. So that was a bit of a tangent on. I mean, I don't know how we got here from. I was talking about the Game of Thrones reactions and the reason why it's been taking so long. That was your explanation on it. So going back to the last branch that brought us to there was Ollie said you should ask your viewers some questions, like get them to ask you some questions. Yeah. So I did, and we got a few on the YouTube community page. We got some from a couple of people on my Instagram.
I think we got two or three,
and a couple of weird questions from the same person, Joe, who is a friend of ours. And that was pretty much it. We did get some on my story, but lols, I forgot to save those ones, so they've been forgotten about and bye. So one of the questions I got, we can go into detail with this because I think it's got quite a lot of branches and pardon you that it can go along. If you were a hot dog and you were starving, would you eat yourself? Because I love a good hot dog.
I do like hot dogs. I was pretty upset when they took them off the Wetherspoons menu.
I know, yeah. It didn't.
Because that's all I used to eat.
Yeah, I was a bit miffed off.
But I feel like that there's some logistics that need to be like cleared up for that question.
Okay.
Like, have you got hot dog arms? Have you got like arms and legs that are made out of hot dog?
So you just want, or maybe you're just a hot dog with arms and legs like a cartoon would be.
Yeah,
that's how I'm envisioning it.
Because if you're just a hot dog, how do you eat yourself?
Well, if you've got arms, then you can, I don't know, rip the top of your hot dog sausage off.
No, I wouldn't let it. It's just, this one's too complicated. Would you?
I mean, I love a good hot dog, but I feel as though if I was a hot dog, that would be cannibalism. Like, I wouldn't, if I was starving, I wouldn't choose to eat myself as a human.
Yeah, but human, it's probably not that nice.
Apparently it tastes like pork. I don't know who's, like, if that's a myth or if somebody's actually, you know, done the experiment.
It's just something you can't refute because who the fuck's eating human?
I know.
I said I swear.
I mean, if I had to, I would eat human. If I had to.
No, I'd try it. I'd get my own
life. If I was like dying on the top of a mountain.
I wouldn't even say that. Like, if someone weren't murdered, they were just some human meat, and we're like in a restaurant, and a little waiter came along, and like, you want some person? I'd have to try it because who's going to offer you person?
But it's illegal. That's what I'm saying. If I absolutely.
Is it illegal to eat people, or is it just illegal to murder?
It's cannibalism's illegal, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think cannibalism is illegal. I'm pretty sure it is.
I mean, who's it hurting? If like the person. What about that German guy that ate the guy?
The German guy who ate the guy.
Yeah, it's a good story. Yeah, didn't Rammstein do a song about it? Mind Tile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there were a guy that posted like an ad or something. I don't know. I don't know the like ins and outs of it, but basically a German cannibal met this guy who consented to it, like gave him his consent to eat him.
Right.
And I think he ate his dick or something.
Well, see, I'm reading this here from The Guardian. It says, eating people is wrong, but is it against the law? Jose Salvador. I'll see. I know that name. I just don't. Alvarenga. I didn't know that third part of his name. Is accused of eating his travel companion to survive being lost at sea. If it were true, he wouldn't be the first to consume human flesh in extreme circumstances. Which, like, fair enough. If it were me, I would probably also eat the companion if he was most likely to die first.
If he was already dead, I don't see why that's an issue.
Yeah. Like, as long as you don't fucking murder them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
if they die and you eat them afterwards.
If someone like came up to me and said, "Right, I've just murdered a person. Do you want to eat them?" I'd probably be like, "No, that's less okay than just eating people."
It says here, but is eating someone's flesh in such extreme conditions against the law? Not in the UK, apparently, according to Samantha Pegg, senior lecturer at Nottingham Trent University. Now, Nottingham Trent University has all the answers. She points out, it says, there is no offence of cannibalism in our jurisdiction, Dr. Pepper says. She points out that Alvarenga's story is similar to a famous case in...
Is that the German one? That's definitely the German.
Is that the German?
The man offered himself to be killed and consumed. That's not a German name, I don't think.
Is it not?
I don't know. I'm not German.
Well, the answer is it's not illegal in the UK.
It's not illegal.
But like, if I had to do it, like I would do it purely because somebody says it tastes like pork, and if somebody told me it tastes like dog turd, I'd probably be like, you know what? I'll just die.
See, the dilemma you face when eating a person though is what if it's the best meal you've ever had. You can't really go back there. You can't keep eating.
I mean, if you're starving to death, it will be the best meal you've ever had.
No, I'm talking like in a social situation where you're at a restaurant and you've been offered person, and it's done really well.
Right.
It's got like a nice little side.
Yeah.
Maybe like some wedges.
A relish.
Relish.
Some wedges. A relish.
Like some sweet potato wedges.
Right.
Oh, the big ones.
I do like them ones actually, sweet potato wedges, the peng.
Anyway, that's not the point.
No, it's the human flesh.
Yeah. Like, if it were like, right, we've just got a stock of human meat just because people die a lot, and well, we're running out of food. Do you want to try some human? I'd be right up for it.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. But
then the dilemma would be, what if it's the nicest thing you've ever eaten?
And it kind of turns you into a bit of a cannibal.
Yeah.
Like, I could really eat some human flesh again. Person is nice.
Just want a bag of like person scratchings.
Oh my god, person scratchings.
If they were just a thing behind pub. Right.
Hey, have you got any person scratchings? Oh, yeah, 10 bob.
There's a full ear in this one.
Oh, gristly. So I guess then, in a way, that verdict, that conclusion,
yes, I would.
Essentially says, I would eat myself.
Well, no, because I wouldn't eat myself.
Oh yeah, you just eat somebody else.
I would try person. We went a long way just off.
We did actually. Question. This is what happens. This is what I mean. When I say that me and Ollie get into the deep, dark depths of our own minds,
we get to the nitty gritty.
We really do. It's sometimes we find ourselves staring at each other, wondering how the fuck we got to those places.
I mean, sometimes
being slightly worried.
It literally just devolves into noise. We're not even saying words anymore. We just end up like shrieking in each other's faces.
It's an interesting place we get to. So the conclusion to that is no. If we were a hot dog and we were starving, we would not eat ourselves. But if there was another hot dog that was already dead,
if I would eat that hot dog and I was offered a hot dog, I would eat the hot dog.
There's your answer, Rocky Hemingway. I don't even know if that's your real name. Alright, so the next question. They said, what kind of questions would you like us to ask? Like, what subject matter? About yourselves? I'd like to hear more about your work. What kinds of bands do you manage? Are you enjoying it? What does your job entail?
There you go.
Well,
that's one for you.
We'll take one. What does your job entail? Now I know you aren't strictly working at the moment.
No, not.
But the job that you want to go into, I think, would be.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about it.
Well, why are you going into it then?
Because that's the point. Like, learn new skills.
Alright. Well, what do you know about it?
It's just like advertising and stuff, isn't it? So it's... I could talk more about what I've done before.
Either one?
I don't know, because like, most of the shit I've done is boring.
You think it's boring?
I could give people some pretty horrible stories of the condition people live in
Oh my
houses.
god, yes.
I don't. Could I get like, am I liable legally if I did that? Is that like an invasion of privacy or?
No, because all you're doing is speaking off experience and
It's not real.
stories.
It's fake.
Right, it's completely fake. No, you're not saying the names of those people, and you're
I didn't know the names. Like I've just
or locations or addresses, so you're alright.
Like
I think everybody knows these kind of conditions can exist.
We live in a world where Elon Musk sent a car into space and saved some boys that couldn't be saved in a cave or something, and yet people still live with shit just on the floor. It's like at the bottom of the stairs, and that's just normal. It's like,
For
what's
them,
that? Basically, to give some context, I was working in a house, and the guy who owned the house, I'm assuming, like he was there anyway, he may not have owned the house. I walked in, and at the bottom of his stairs there was just a little poo on the floor.
Oh.
And I asked him, like, where's your dog? Or cat? Or what pet have you got? He didn't have a pet. He just shit on his floor and left it.
What the fuck? What is wrong with these people? There has to be something wrong with people like this.
I don't know if it were a prank. I might already be on YouTube. Like, who knows? That could have been a prank. I didn't really react to it though. Like, we're assuming if that were a prank video, I'd want someone to be like,
whoa! But it's just minging, innit? It's just like how.
Well, it didn't smell. It were real shit before anyone says it were a fake shit, because I was changing the light fitting above where the shit were, and some plaster fell off into it, and it just like stuck.
Oh no!
It was real poo.
It's just grim, and I don't understand why people can live in an age like that. Because it makes no like.
It doesn't, doesn't it? Like it's insane.
It's caveman style in a modern house. It's disgusting.
He might not like a toilet, and do you know what? I can understand. He might not want to squat on a toilet and do a poo, but at least do it outside. Don't do it like in the entrance to your house. I was greeted.
Might have been raining.
I was greeted by a shit.
It's quite disgusting.
Mm.
And I've heard from my sister's husband's dad as well. There's some of the experiences, you could call them, that he's had as well. From from working in other people's houses and
it sounds like something that you could only make up.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing. You're just walking down the street, and inside these houses that you're walking past, people are doing all kinds of weird shit. It's like animals, it's all over the place. That were the worst one, when people had loads of animals and they just didn't clean up after the animals. It's like litter trays all over the floor, and like cats are just strolling into a shit, flick it all over the place.
What's the worst that you've ever come across? Like the absolute worst?
To be fair, the shit one weren't actually that bad, because it was just like one little bit of shit on the floor.
Yeah.
And that were it.
Rather than
like, the rest of the
log.
house weren't too bad.
Yeah.
But I've been in ones where you go into the kitchen, and one not far from here actually.
Oh no.
People don't actually know where we are, so that's alright.
Yeah.
But they're like 4 litre trays in the kitchen, and you know the sticky bit, like the fly paper.
Yeah.
I don't know what Americans would call it.
I don't know actually.
It's like yellow paper. It's got like glue on it, and insects fly into it, and they can't get off and they die. They're like on the light fitting. They're like 4 of them.
Right.
On a long light fitting.
Yeah.
Just absolutely full of flies. And we had to take this light fitting down, like inside the cover for it, just full of flies as well, and it like covered in grease and shit.
Oh.
They were literally just like cat litter and shit all over the place, food all over the place.
Oh my god.
It was like these people aren't embarrassed at all. Like, this is just normal for them.
I just don't understand how they can live in conditions like that. Like, I struggle when my desk has pieces of paper on it, which it does now, but these are important things that I'm looking at the moment.
You need to have them to remind you.
Yeah, but if there's just random shit strewn all over the place, I don't know how people can even deal with that. Never mind cat litter, sticky fly catchers covered. Oh, it's just disgusting.
It is, and it just baffles me because I saw it that often, and it became like, at first I was shocked. I was like, oh, fucking hell, like, this is.
But then you kind of get.
Like, I went into the first one
anymore.
that were horrible, and I'm like, this is absolutely awful. Like, how do people live like this? Then like a week later, I would have gone into another one which were worse. But, like, this makes this last one just look like it's like a normal house. And then eventually, it just reaches standard where absolutely like dirty houses that you wouldn't live in yourself just seem normal, and like just a bit of mess is fine. And then it's like you get to a point where the only thing that shocks you is when there's just shit. There's like piss or shit on the floor or on the wall or something. There were a tampon stuck to a wall once. A used tampon.
Why?
Exactly. How did I want to know the backstory behind these things? Because I imagine it. Like, I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
But you would. The walls could talk.
The walls could literally, probably.
They could tell some serious stories.
Like going up the stairs again. I was always near the stairs. Like, so there's a banister on the right hand side. There's nothing on the left. About halfway up, probably just like a little bit past halfway. Like, I saw it when I first walked in.
Yeah.
Like, didn't really pay much mind to it. And like, as I was going upstairs, I passed it. I was like, what's that? Like, something just sticking off the wall a little bit. So I looked at it like, oh. It's an actual tampon.
That's a legit tampon.
That's been used by someone.
Oh, it's minging.
Stuck to a wall, just there. Like, ooh, how did it get there?
How did it get there? Why did they put it there if they put it there on purpose?
I just shot out.
Alright, so I was just thinking, like, when you watch those TV programs which have like really nasty places for people to be living.
Yeah.
I think the worst for me is when there's people who live in houses that aren't small, but like they're not big houses.
Yeah.
But like there's space enough to ensure that shit goes somewhere and rubbish goes places, and like it can be tidied, but small enough to make sure that it doesn't get cluttered as fuck.
Yeah.
And I think the worst ones for me that I've seen are when people just hoard loads of stuff constantly and pile things up. Like, even in the kitchen area, the kitchen's unclean, there's mould, it's not been used in ages, there's pots on the side, there's glasses of like orange or whatever, something, or Coca-Cola that started to go mouldy, and as they're tearing all this stuff out of the house, and taking all this hoarded mouldy gross stuff out, they start to find new things. And there was one time where they found the owner's dead cat underneath all this hoarded shit.
I have got a dead cat story.
Have you?
Yeah, I have found a dead cat in someone's house.
Oh my god.
I'm not even sure that they noticed it were gone, or it had been gone for a while. But it was in, like, I was an electrician, so I did a lot of work in the loft, like pulling cables through, etc. And in like the felt that leads, like on the inside of the loft, leads to the insulation and then the outside, I just saw like the back end of a cat sticking out of that.
Right.
And it like rigor mortis had set in, so it was like stiff, and I'm assuming it had gone after a bird, or like it had heard a noise and it had gone through this little hole and got stuck and just died. Cause it was just there. It was just like legs sticking out like back legs. I went up to it because I thought maybe it's just an alive cat.
Don't think it was.
No, I touched it. It was just like fucking like touching this wood. I was like, whoa.
That's
I best tell someone that there's a cat in the loft and it's dead.
Like solid, like proper rigor mortis set in.
I said, like, I'll show you this. Guy stuck his head up, saw it. You're like, fucking hell. Like, that's I can't remember the cat's name. Like, that's my cat though. Like, it's been missing a bit. That.
Oh
like,
shit! It's been up here, rotting.
Like, that were it. No remorse. No like, my cat. Oh no. He was just like, fucking hell.
He probably just like if the cat's been gone a while, I reckon he probably just got over the fact that maybe the cat was long gone and lost, and he was never going to see it again.
Yeah, but like, even if we had a cat and it did go missing for a while, and it ended up
reappearing.
Well, it weren't local. It were like basically a miracle that ended up finding out where it were, because it was like a good 8 miles away.
Really? Fucking hell.
I don't know if it jumped on back of a van, or like a flatbed van or something, and ended up like in traffic up that way and jumped out, because it was living in this farm, like at a barn. And it was gone probably about a month. And then we just found out one day, like someone that my mum used to work with said, "Oh, I've seen a cat that looks like yours up here." And we're like, "What?" Like, it's been missing a while. And they're like, "All right, well, get in touch with the person that owns farm." So we did, and they were just there.
That's messed up. That's like, well, it's not messed up. It's just crazy.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's proper crazy. Things happen for a reason. That kind of stuff.
What question were we on?
It was what does your job entail?
You would do yours.
Right, so
yours is more interesting than mine.
Yeah, but I ain't got like gruesome stories like that which make you kind of go.
You haven't got gruesome stories where it's more like, oh, that's a cool job. Like where if someone told you that's my job, I'd be like,
I'm an electrician. Oh. So I work with small underground bands, usually UK based, although I have got an Italian band on my roster. The company name, which isn't actually a company because we're all self-employed working under a name, is Illicit Music, and I'm an artist manager for these bands, so I help develop and help them grow, and if they don't really know what else to do on their career path as a band, like if they've exhausted all options, or if they feel like they haven't really got the knowledge to be able to move forward, then if I think they've got potential, I can take them on and kind of help them and point them in the right direction. I can help develop their sound, their social media content, their whole image and brand, because with a band it's so important. Like, that band is a brand. Like, they are a product.
I'd say everything is nowadays.
Absolutely, like everything, like and when they are posting on social media in the way that they are trying to advertise their new content, their merchandise, updating their fans and listeners, they're a brand that is in a business.
Even politicians now, I'd say they're a brand.
Yeah,
because whenever they make a mistake, I imagine a lot of people lose money.
Yeah, they get scrutinised.
It's not just them.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, this person's messed up, it's alright, they're just a person. It's like everybody's on the case straight away, because they'll lose money in one way or another for someone else.
Yeah.
They don't even have to worry about themselves anymore.
Yeah.
They've got to worry about everybody else that's related or, like, affiliated with them.
And like, what's important for a brand is their image and reputation. So if they mess up, or for example, if I messed up for the band, then it would be the band's reputation at stake and mine, because I'm known as their manager and I'm the one that manages what the band does.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's not good for anybody's reputation or image. So my job is to do the right things, or at least if I make a mistake, you never make the same mistake again. That's kind of a rule of thumb. Mistakes do happen, but just don't make the same mistake again. So I help develop the bands. We learn from their previous mistakes, or things that they could have done better or in a different way. We develop their touring aspects and their touring schedules. We develop their music, help them get a better sound out of their singles or EPs. So, for example, I've got a band on my roster who they had some masters done for 3 singles that they're going to release over the end of this year, and I knew somebody who could bring a much better high quality studio sound to those singles, and that in itself is developing the band's sound from being something that sounded fairly mediocre and flat to something that can really be blown out of the water, that people will catch because it's such high quality.
That is something that's always fascinated me about music and sound design, the fact that you could have the same equipment, exact same equipment, in 2 different studios run by 2 different people, and they're going to sound completely different.
It's insane, and
it's mad.
I've always said, if you know the person, or you've seen the quality of work, or heard the quality of the work that they've done before, don't be afraid to pay more for the service, because there are sharks out there, and they will rip you off. They'll say like 400 quid for an EP.
I'd say in the industry that you're in, people only make money when they're good.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get
scammers.
Yeah, but I feel like they'll not last very long. Like they might scam a few people, but they're not, they're not get places scamming people. Whereas someone that's put the work in, they know what they're doing, they get good results, they're gonna naturally, you're gonna want to pay them more.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an issue. Whereas someone that does a shit job and they're like, right, give me 300 quid for this shit job, you'll be like, no.
Yeah, exactly. And there are like the scammers out there. There are companies. I won't name them because
drop some beef.
Yeah, exactly. But there are companies out there who continue to exploit and rip off young underground bands. Vivo, no. Vivo aren't too bad, to be fair. I know.
Is that even what they are?
They're just like a platform, label, essentially. I think they're just a platform to get people out there on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, I know a lot of companies that, well, not a lot, but a couple of companies that rip people off. But then I also know people who can do a really good job. Now, for this band in particular, they weren't going to be ripped off for bad work, but they just weren't paying enough.
Right.
So they weren't paying enough, and it wasn't necessarily bad work. Like I just said, it was like that was bad wording, but it wasn't necessarily bad work. It was just the money that they were putting towards it showed in the final product.
Yeah. I understand.
And instead, I was like, look, I know this person who is insanely good at his job. He's very dedicated, very passionate, and for the outcome, like the result that you'll get, the money is worth it. And they debated it a little bit between them, and they said, look, we've saved and quite a lot of money and raised quite a lot of money to be able to put towards something like this, so yeah, we'll go for it.
Yeah.
And the results of these 3 singles that he mixed and mastered were like another like couple levels up compared to what the previous were.
Right.
So helping develop a band's sound is something that I like to be on board with as well. Even writing, like sometimes I get bands who I'll hear a lyric, or they'll send me the lyrics through of a new song, and I'll read a lyric and go, this might be better in this way instead. And it's always like just helping out. It's nothing major, it's just the little things that can help, like suggestions. I never say you should do this, you should do that. I'll always ask my bands, do you want to do this instead? Because it needs to be kind of a two-way street. I want to make sure that the bands are happy with what I'm putting forward and what they're going to be doing, as well as me.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to tell them to do something, they're not happy to do it.
It's not.
There's going to be no passion there.
Yeah, there's going to no performance is going to be
exactly so
stifled by that as well.
There is absolutely no point in me just forcing something like that. But yeah, it's mainly developing bands, helping them grow outside of their local area, giving them the experience they need, submitting them and telling people, promoters, venues about the bands, and constantly getting the name out there. And then touring is really important, really. Like being on a tour, even if it's a weekender where it's Friday to Sunday, if you're on with a decent band that has a following, you can hitch onto that person's following and potentially pick up new fans, and that's what it's all about, developing and growing that band in some way. So there's a lot of aspects about band management. You can submit to record labels and things like that.
That's the best way to do it in my eyes. Like when you go to see someone, like I've not been to many concerts to be fair, but like the ones I've been to see someone, I've ended up seeing someone else that I didn't know about that ended up being sometimes better.
Exactly. This is what people need to get in their heads. This is actually it.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough people that go out to gigs anymore. Like even the local ones, they're not interested.
They're not. Like the marketing on them is a bit weird though. A lot of the time, because it's just a poster. Like you'll just see a poster on Facebook or like at the venue. And if you're not near, if you don't live near the venue, or you're not always searching, what's happening this weekend and this weekend, you're gonna miss a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that I'd like to go to, but I just didn't know where to find information for stuff like that out.
What would you like to receive to be able to get that information?
I don't know. You could have it personalised, really, couldn't you? Like a daily update of new things coming out, or like a weekly update, or like a month schedule, a start every month, where you could say, right, this is what I'm doing this month. This is what these bands are doing this month. Check them out. They'll be playing with these people and these people. Here's some of their stuff. Blah blah blah. How
would you want to receive information like that, or like from a venue point of view, like if you wanted to find out what was happening in those venues?
What was in like this is being sent to me?
Yeah.
So like subscription kind of service thing.
Yeah. So like, would you want to be on a mail out where it would go to your emails or?
No, I wouldn't say emails, because a lot of the things that aren't important, people just mark them as read and done.
Yeah.
That's just like inbuilt now, because there's that much shit that you're signing up for.
Yeah.
Where you get emails every day, and it's like you get 4 emails from the same person every day, and it's always like
Pinterest, man, fucking Pinterest.
Yeah, exactly.
Does my head in. But
stuff like that,
the whole
gets cluttered.
The whole like social media aspect of advertising a concert or a gig in your local area is actually quite difficult now.
I know you could probably do it on Facebook, but I'm surprised there's not a platform for venues.
Like they have a page, an event, and you can have an event, but sometimes they're not ideal ways of getting your name out there, because Facebook's algorithm doesn't exactly allow people who could be interested.
It'd be nice if there were a service where in your area you can sign up to like an app or like a social media.
There is something called Bands in Town which does a similar thing.
Right, yeah.
But it's not as well known yet, and people don't really use it. Like,
there should be a thing for venues to post what's happening. So it's up to them whether they want people, it shouldn't be someone else doing it. Unless they're getting paid a fair whack.
Yeah.
It's not worth it for them, is it? So there should be like similar to Facebook, I suppose, where a venue can say, right, this is what's going to be happening this weekend. And you can get a little notification on your phone or whatever saying, just announced this is happening. I'm like, alright, cool. Oh, they seem nice. I'll go and see them. Just stuff like that. So it's always like more in your mind.
Yeah.
Because it slips. Like I'd forget to look for venues and stuff unless I were right in mood.
Yeah.
To go and see something right then.
No, I know what you mean. Sometimes I don't have a clue what's going off at the local venues, or even in Sheffield, like I don't have a clue what's going off. I end up not having any interest because I don't know what's going on.
If it's not something that crosses your mind regular, you're not going to think about it.
Yeah. And to be fair, like I do have a lot of people on my Facebook who promote gigs in Sheffield, and I see what's on then. Half the time I'm busy because it's a weekend, but I do, like, as soon as I get my car as well, because I am carless at the moment, but as soon as I get my car back, I'll be able to make the travel up and like go to Sheffield and go to more gigs, because that would be good to go to. Like I know a lot of people who play in Sheffield, and I'd
say you're the only source that I've got for like gigs and stuff, because other than the few bands I've been to see with my dad and stuff, like cover bands and crap like that.
You'd probably get scared of some of the bands that I'd go to see.
I won't get scared.
Or Deathcore.
What were the one that went to see it? Home Wrecked. They were good.
Which ones were there? Which ones was it?
Which ones were there? In Doncaster.
Oh, the Polar. Were it Polar who were headlining?
I don't know.
Home Wreck played, and then it was those
other... They're the ones that I went to see, because that's the one that you were
looking after at the time, repping. But yeah, there was like Polar and some other bands that were on tour with each other, and Home Wreck was supporting.
Right.
I
can't remember what the place was called.
Vintage Rock Bar.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Vintage Rock. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would have been. Yeah, that's
Vintage.
It, yeah.
That was alright actually. That was a gig.
Good.
I think I'm going to one in November actually. With one of my bands. It's a hardcore gig. Be fun.
Nah.
Alright, well that's what my job entails anyway, like developing bands, getting them touring and shit. So
I'm old in front of my time, so
you are. You want to go see like
I'd like to sit down with like probably a single drink.
A single malt whiskey.
Yeah, and just watch some people that are talented do stuff. You know what I mean? Doesn't really matter what it is. If someone's talented at something, it's enjoyable to watch.
To be honest, like unless it's like a proper like large capacity gig, I do like to stand back and watch these bands performing, like the smaller bands performing, because even though I can still have a good time if I'm in the pit or like if I'm really close up, I can also really enjoy the music and learn more about the band by watching them and how they perform.
I think how critical them environments are help small bands a lot though, because when you go to see a big band, unless they like fuck up majorly, you're gonna have a good time regardless, because they've already got a name for themselves, and that's half of it.
Yeah.
Where you can go like, if I went to see Foo Fighters, I'd be like, it's going to be good because I'm seeing Foo Fighters, and it'd be good because, you know, I'm seeing a famous band.
Yeah. Whereas a small band, you're like, well,
I don't know who these people are. They could be good or bad.
I'm just going to get absolutely battered.
Yeah. And then the first song that they play, you like have that moment where you're like, these are shit, or these are good.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. And it does happen all the time as well. Like you find yourself doing that quite often. Even now, like me, I'll find a new band and I'll just stand there and sometimes I'll go, oh my god, this is just painful. Or I'll proper like get into it. Like, yeah.
You're gonna drop some beef on this one, like give some names.
Beef.
Who's been shit?
I can't do that. There's too many.
The real question is, who's been good?
Who's been good? Well, all the bands on my roster, check them out. Remember, just search Facebook Illicit Music, www.illicitmusic.com, you'll find my website.
And it is illicit, so no children.
Yeah, so like, it's not illicit like illicit drugs, it's illicit music. Just point that out there, because...
Is it?
Yeah. Illicit. So like illicit drugs is like I-double-L.
Is it?
Yeah, whereas illicit is like you're eliciting a smile from somebody. So that's why it's called
about
illicit music.
That don't happen often.
I know, you're usually the one teaching me. Cool. Yeah, it's illicit music is like we are trying to
shit, no, I don't like
elicit the band
elicit
into the
a response. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I just never put that together that those were the same word.
See, when we were trying to think of the name, I was like, I'm really not sure on it, but it's kind of grown on me now. It just about works. People don't realise what it means, and then when they do realise, it's like, oh, it's a good name. Like, cheers, bro.
I keep making myself laugh because I want to just say something really bad, so you've got to like bleep it out.
Go for it, man.
There's been loads of moments where you've been just like proper flowing on something. I've just been like, this will be a good time. Just shit. You've got to bleep yourself.
I know. Fuck.
How does that feel when you bleep yourself? Have you got like just like that sound effect?
What? Beep.
Is that just available for you?
I think I do have it in my file somewhere. Potentially. Should invest in it if you haven't already got that, because you might need it. I think I've got something, yeah. Anyway, what's the next question on our list?
Cut that bit out.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Patreon.
Cut back in, like, no.
Fuck's sake. Stop it with your bad behaviour.
Let's do the next question.
We gotta stop, yeah. Coffee or tea?
Tea. No, coffee.
I'm a coffee man. How'd you like it?
Black.
I like mine black as well. Yeah.
You're gonna whip up a black coffee?
I love a good black coffee. Do you want one?
Oh my.
I can whip up a black coffee.
Go for it if you want.
I've got good coffee and all. Red wine or white wine? Or rosé?
Probably white wine. I don't really like
I'm a white wine kind of guy, but yeah.
I don't like them, so
I can drink wine all the time, like any day. But I would much prefer to have a pint of ale in front of me.
I like spirits.
I've found with spirits is that I can only really drink them as a shot, as a mixer, with lemonade, because Coke just makes me feel horrendous.
Yeah, it's Pepsi, not Coke. Is that alright?
No, it's not.
I worked behind a bar for a day and I said that so many times.
It's awkward.
Pepsi, not Coke.
Yeah.
Is that alright?
Mate, I didn't even care when I worked behind a bar. It was just like, I just did it anyway.
You're not buying it for the Pepsi.
I know, you're buying it for the alcohol.
Someone says, can I have a Coke?
Yeah.
And they're like, we haven't got Coke, sorry. That's fair enough.
What confused me is when they were like, can I get a pint of Coke? And I was like, Cause or Coke?
It doesn't sound the same.
It does when you're in a really loud function room. And all you hear is Coke.
Can I have a...
Cause. Coke.
Cock.
Cock. Alright, what's the next one? Hey! I don't have anything creative or different as of now. Too much pressure early in the morning. Just stopping by to say good luck. Hope you get some excellent ideas. Hope everything goes well for you. Thanks, name edit.
We got none. We got no good ideas, and it's going pretty shit.
It's this is a rambling podcast where you can learn more about who I am if you've been watching me before, and learn who Ollie is for the first time.
I'm brand new.
Brand new to you too.
I have got a YouTube page. There's no content on it.
It's just pointless to have.
It was just one of them things where I set everything up and just never followed through.
Well, sometimes following through isn't the best idea anyway.
When was the last time you shit yourself?
You should know this. This is a story that really should be kept between my friends and not plastered onto the internet, because it wasn't really that long ago.
It could have been happened again since then, though.
No, it was the last time was 3 years ago.
Well, it depends what we class as like a full-on shit. Like
I actually full-on shat myself.
Like an entire shit in your pants.
It was just it was like I'd been drinking for a week. This makes me sound like an alcoholic, right? But I'd been drinking heavily for a week while I was in Denmark, and then it was the rest days.
Yeah, right.
And we had a gala dinner, and I drank a shitload of lager beer the night before, and then I was hanging, and then we had the survival games where we drank more beer. And it was a big drinking game with different activities and stuff.
Yeah.
And during that time, I went for a piss at the urinals and shat myself, and it was...
You're already in the toilet though.
A grave mess. Yeah, that's a very good point. Like, I went for a fart, but it...
Yeah, I was laid in bed last time.
It was a shot.
Myself.
Oh no!
It didn't go anywhere somehow.
Yeah, mine neither. Mine was literally just held in my boxers.
Yeah, like it didn't even go into like my joggers or out.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Now I know why boxers are a thing.
I was pretty ill, to be fair. It weren't just like I was just walking along and I just shit myself.
Right.
Like I had not diarrhea, but like I was just shitting a lot.
And when was this? Because I said how long ago mine was.
Well, this year.
This year? Oh my god. We should probably put a disclaimer like... like, what disgusting content, what would it even be? Don't listen if you've got a weak stomach. Parental advisory.
Just have that as the picture for the entire thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, we laid in bed, and I had just had a black coffee as well, like to make matters worse. So my stomach was just like doing flips because I weren't well.
Right.
I just laid there, and I thought, oh, great fart coming on. Farted, and then just carried on after I'd stopped farting. And it was like, there was just that moment where I was just like, right, I have shit myself.
Yeah, that's what I was like as well.
Even like, I thought in that moment, because I've never shit myself as an adult until then. I thought I'd be
not a good feeling, is it, really?
It's not a good feeling, but I thought I'd be more panicky and like, oh crap, let's run to the toilet. Just really calmly just sat up. I was just like...
See, my problem was that I was in a small toilet with one cubicle and 2, maybe 3 urinals. So it was a small area.
Yeah.
And thankfully I was on my own when it happened, and there was nobody in the cubicle, so I could like sort myself out. But as soon as I walk out of that door, I am still faced with potentially 700 volunteers scattered around the place that we were.
How drunk were you?
Quite.
That's alright then.
But I was still sober enough to know what was happening, and sober enough to know to go, I'm going to go to the showers and hope to God that nobody comes into the because there were communal showers as well, because that's a very like
it's a European thing. Yeah, I think it's just England where that's weird.
Yeah, and I'm not particularly for that either. I don't feel comfortable doing it, but you don't really have the option when you're out there.
See, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, but if that were just how it was, nobody.
And people don't care either.
That's what I mean. Like if
really
everybody just strutted about naked, nobody'd give a fuck.
You literally go in, wash, leave, get clothed, and chill. Like nobody really cares about what you look like, you know, anything like that.
See, I was thinking about this earlier today. Actually, like, I'm wondering if there was someone that comfortable that, you know, they could just let anybody see them naked. I know indecent exposure's a crime.
Yes.
But I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's just leave that. Just leave that where it is.
Alright. I'll delete that.
Nigger.
So, yeah, we've both shit ourselves as adults, and it's not a nice feeling.
It's not. It's kind of, you feel like your body's just betrayed you a little bit.
Yeah, you do feel like you've hit quite a low point in your life.
Even though the only thing it is affecting is your body.
Pardon me. Yeah.
So why? It's just your own shit on you.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Right, next one, because this has gone way too far. If you had to decide happiness or free will.
What?
If you had to decide happiness or free will.
I don't know what that means. If I had to decide what?
Between the two.
If I had to pick one?
Yeah.
It's another weird question. You've got stupid fans. This is where we get a comment saying like, "You're ignorant." Michael Jackson's come back from the grave.
You're so ignorant.
I've been ignorant.
Oh God.
Are we doing the fart one?
What kind of sound would the perfect fart make?
The first comment. So I feel like we should have.
I think so. See, I think a perfect fart is a kind of a low rumbling one, lengthy, but also has that kind of slap to it where it's kind of like it's really like, it's a proper meaty one.
Yeah.
Got quite a bit of depth to it.
I think like the perfect sounding fart for me would be something like Brian Blessed shouting.
Oh God!
Like
oh my God! Yes.
How terrifying would it be if you farted and that happened though? If that noise came out.
We had those women a few shit. I saw it again. Take two. Oh shit! I said fuck. Oh fuck! I said shit. I named this shit Felicity Ann, and God save all those who sail in there. Upper. Oh shit! Oh fuck! I've said shit. Shit, I said fuck, no.
What is going on?
That's inside my head.
Mrs. Holmes, she's going to report me for saying bucker, you know. Oh, just wait till I see your mother. You're in real trouble. Oh, I tell you what, if you're going to go and see her, then tell her this. Booger shit, fuck shit, fucking sphincter, arsehole up your ass, up your cunt. Fuck you sideways, you fucking boring fucking whore. Fuck off, you cow.
So that would be your perfect fart?
Yeah. Something to that effect. That's quite a long one though.
It is, but like the lengthy ones are the best ones, aren't they?
Depends if you shit yourself after them or not.
I mean, potential. After that, yeah. It looked like he was going to shit himself.
It did. It probably did.
Maybe.
Brian Blessed wears a nappy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Is that old yet?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think he's that old yet.
I think he's pretty old.
I know it must be fairly old, but I don't think he's as old as that. Surely not.
He lives on top of Everest.
He lives on top of Everest?
Yeah.
Since when?
He goes there a lot, doesn't he? Until I climbed it like 3,000 times.
3,000 times? I don't think it was quite 3,000 times, but we'll go with that.
But he did it with like equipment and stuff.
Oh, right.
I believe. Might be wrong. Might be completely wrong.
Maybe. But probably are.
Usually am.
So earlier on in the podcast we mentioned YouTube, and the EUCD, which is the EU Copyright Directive.
I wonder why I kept saying CD. Now I know what it is. It's like Article 13 and 11 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it's like it's the EU Copyright Directive. Now, the reason why a lot of people are talking about this, and I've taken a lot from Philip DeFranco's videos as well, because he's quite clued up on it all, and the reason why people are so concerned about this this directive is because it restricts creative content and resharing that content on all social media, all the internet, the entire internet. Even though it's a European Union directive, it affects the entirety of the internet across the globe, because Facebook have to follow new regulations, and they're not going to do that for a specific part of the world, because their software, their systems are programmed to work in a certain way. So that will work across the entire internet. So what this basically means, and I'll do a quick rundown before I go further into depth about what the EUCD actually is in my notes. Basically, it's there for artists, original content creators, so music artists, film directors, actors, all these kind of people, to maintain and ensure they get the royalties that they deserve from all of the content that they own that is reshared. So, for example, somebody who creates a meme, for example, a screenshot or a GIF that's been taken from a film, that is owned by the creators of that film.
See, this is the bit that always baffled me with stuff like this. Is I understand somebody's worked on something and it's theirs, in a sense. So fair enough, they should get profit for it.
Yeah.
But when you're using something as reference material, which that's all memes are. It's just a joke that's not got words in it.
So exactly, and the point, the thing is that this EUCD, it's there to ensure that artists, film directors, and producers, etc., aren't ripped off, so that their films aren't ripped onto YouTube, or songs aren't ripped to YouTube and stuff, which makes sense, right?
Fair enough. Full films and songs that are uploaded, and someone else that's got nothing to do with them is making profit for it. That's not right. That's fraud, basically. Which is fair enough, but it's the part where it's the line that is unclear to me is, if it's a small channel, for example, and they've made something and it's gone pretty big, the profit that they'd get for that has more value to them than someone that's already got billions or millions or whatever. They'd probably not miss it, because I imagine what they'd lose in copyright stuff will be made up in interest from whatever they made from it to start with. So they're not losing out. They're just sharing the money, basically. That's all that's happening, and that's not morally wrong. But if it's someone, just a single person, say that they've wrote a book or made a song and it's gone to the charts, and they haven't got an agent or a label, they've not copyrighted it, so someone else stole it, that'd be immoral. That's not right. That's the line that shouldn't be crossed.
Exactly.
But they shouldn't take it any further than that.
No, and with the EUDC now, like Article 11 and Article 13 have been approved by MEPs, which is members of European Parliament, if anybody didn't know.
It's not been put in place yet, though.
It's not in place, but it's been approved, and all that needs to happen now is for world leaders to basically sign it off, and then that will then start the process of laws being created. And what people have pointed out is, yes, this directive is incredibly good for original, legitimate creators, artists, anything to do with film, anything where people deserve the royalties that they're getting and not getting ripped off or anything like that. But when it comes to reactors on YouTube or using somebody else's memes, just regurgitating somebody else's content essentially, which should and technically be under fair use, that's abolished.
It's fair use, and it's only being used as a reference point. Like if I did a video, like, let's just use PewDiePie, because he's like the face of YouTube. Whatever he does gets a lot of shit for his like meme reviews and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
if he did a meme review without including the clips of the memes, where instead of that he just had to sit and explain what it was, why it was funny, that would just be like insanely boring.
It'd be really boring.
If I said, oh, there's this thing where there's Donald Trump and he's stood in front of like a podium and he tries to imitate a lorry and he goes bing bong a few times. Like, that's not funny. But when you watch it, because of how like absurd it is, it's hilarious the first time.
Yeah.
Because like, well, that's like the world leader of the free world or whatever. He's doing weird noises and doing this.
I just think it's mad that they haven't been able to put a line in between legit like people ripping creators off and memes and referencing, because as a reactor I don't rip HBO off for including their bits of their episode because it's a reference point. You can't watch that episode and go, yeah, I know what happened in that episode now, because you don't have a full view. It's a reference point. People are there to watch my reactions. That's where the money's coming from. My reactions. Well, I'm not making money from the episode.
Exactly.
It's my face.
Anybody can watch the episode.
Yeah.
Like, but that's not what the component of it is that people are tuning in for.
Exactly. So the notes that I've got down here. So basically, Article 11 is linked to tax. So snippets. What I've got here is snippets of journalistic online content requires paid licenses from the publisher. Now that's what I think that's been changed now. Automatic news articles that appear when you share news links on Facebook. Yeah. That would require a paid license from the publisher. But they've changed that now where you don't need a license to be able to share news articles anymore and stuff. Which makes sense, because how else would those articles get out there?
So that's what news is.
Yeah, the news is supposed to be shared, and so that's like saying somebody who's selling a newspaper has to have a license to sell your newspaper.
Yeah, for each copy of that paper.
Yeah, which is a load of shit. So basically that was there to protect press revenues, which again doesn't make sense.
I think literally what's happened is, because the internet were a free market and anyone could do what they wanted on it, and people were offering things for a lot cheaper and a lot better quality than big businesses were offering before.
Yeah.
It's a threat, because like all of a sudden it's, you know, like it's narrowed down, and these big businesses where they had everything, all of a sudden half of their customer base is gone. It's not gonna, you know, shut them down or anything. No. They've already got an insane amount of money, and it probably don't affect them. It's just numbers on paper. But they want to keep all the money in one place. Yeah. Basically, it's probably easier to track when it's just all. There's these 5 people that own it, and they filter it down. Yeah. And it goes from them to everyone else, and then everyone else eventually gives that money back. Whereas if there's millions of people, and like, say I pay someone that I found online to draw me a picture or something. That's a bad example. There's not really like any giant picture drawing companies, is there?
There could be. You can go on Fiverr, might find someone.
Yeah, but they're doing it for Fiverr. I'm on about like an Amazon or something. I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, that.
Thing is, the EU CD basically closes the open internet, like closes the open web.
Yeah.
To be like, we could use it in whatever way we wanted. There was copyright in place, but we also had fair use, and this new directive takes away free use completely, and it's not free anymore. Like, we can get done for all sorts of shit, just reposting stuff.
It's weird, isn't it, though, because they're making the people that are the best off the victims. Whereas
it's
people that are just trying to get by and have a bit of fun and, you know, do whatever they want, they're not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
There's nothing nefarious about someone pulling up a video of, I don't know, Thanos doing something weird in an Avengers film. Disney aren't being hurt by that. That's
not at all.
Like, there's not someone sat in Disney, you know, sweating because someone's sharing memes. Like, oh,
that's my content.
No, like someone that's going, oh, this could be it for Disney.
Yeah.
These memes, this is
Disney's going to destroy us.
Yeah. Like, what are they scared of? It's
the little bitches. So the notes I've got on Article 13 are quite vague. They're not very good. But basically, Article 13 is seen as an upload filter. So everything that we upload onto the web, everything that we post
passes through that
filter. And social media or internet platforms will host large amounts of user uploaded content, which is liable for copyright infringement by users.
Right.
So what they're going to be doing, what this Article 13 would do, it would force sites to have systems in place to scan all your uploaded content for copyright infringement and then remove it automatically. So YouTube is already doing this essentially.
Yeah.
When you upload, they're scanning the metadata essentially inside that file. They're scanning everything in that file for potentially copyrighted infringement, copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Copyrighted content. Come on, get it out. Fuck. But what they're going to be doing is then they're going to improve that system. They're going to make it a bigger, more.
I think "improve's" the wrong word.
Well, improve on their side anyway.
Yeah.
But they're going to make the system better. That's in quotation.
Yeah, right.
Better. So MEPs at first refused to back the reforms and took it to further discussions, and that was decided by a vote, which was 318 to 278, with 31 abstentions. So like, it was quite a close call essentially. It was like 30 people in it, and then they didn't agree with the reforms, so they took the vote and then they've gone back to discussion and they've come out with what it is now.
Yeah.
And they did that because many MEPs didn't actually understand the ramifications of the EUCD.
Probably because a lot of them don't even know what the internet is.
No. And this is the problem with politics, though, is that people aren't fed the correct information. We saw it with Brexit.
I'd say the problem with politics is a lot of the politicians, not all of them, obviously, I'm not saying all politicians are old, but a lot of them, they came from, where you handed letters to people and stuff when you wanted to pass legislation. And now all of a sudden, I think everybody's scared that machines are going to take over whatever in some form or another.
Yeah, we spoke about this before, haven't we?
Yeah, well, there's the Elon Musk thing. I don't know if you watched it in the end.
No, but I did glance through it.
It's crazy what he's talking about. But I don't even think on that scale. I ain't got a phone at the minute, and it's more like
you don't.
a personal choice.
Yeah.
I could have a phone, but I'd just rather not have it for a while. Just to see what it's like, because I can't remember the last time where there was something I wanted to tell someone about where I didn't just show them it. You know what I mean?
You wanted to tell the story.
Yeah,
be descriptive.
Yeah, exactly. People losing that ability because rather than someone having to explain what something is or what they saw, or what they felt, etc., anything like that.
It's like a book.
Yeah. Instead, now they've got this thing in their hand where they can be like, "Oh, look at this thing I saw the other day," and then you both sit in silence.
Yeah.
Laugh, and then that's it. Whereas if I sat and tried to explain something, that would probably be like a full-fledged conversation.
Yeah.
That requires input from each side, rather than just me just showing you this thing.
Yeah.
Look at this. This isn't me at all, but look at this. There we go. That's it. Done.
It's over it within seconds.
There's no social interaction. It's weird, and it's like a scary place to think that's where.
It's where it's going.
That's the direction that we're going in. But soon we'll not even be able to share things
Essentially, the EUCD does actually stop that kind of stuff from happening. Because you can't share content that isn't yours. God dang.
It's a weird one. It's a very weird one.
The last thing that I got about the EUCD that I wrote down here, and this was taken from Philip DeFranco as well, he said something like, the problem with the EUCD is that it may protect the people such as artists, publishers, labels, newspapers, authors, filmmakers, but it doesn't protect the internet.
No.
And it doesn't at all because...
It's just mass censorship, really.
It is mass censorship. It stops people from... Like GIFs, they're used to kind of respond to people in a comedic way.
Yeah.
That way of communicating will be
just
taken away.
Yeah, just as it's getting to the peak of what it is. Cause
exactly.
How long have GIFs been around for?
Oh, years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
They've been around a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
It was a very big thing on sites like 4chan and Tumblr.
Yeah. But I don't think
really where they were.
People were really that aware of what they were.
No.
Like, we're just like, oh, it's just a little clip with no sound that's pointing at.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
It just loops and that's stupid. But it's been used in such a different way to communicate now. Where,
yeah, exactly.
And I like that, and I use it all the time. I think it's hilarious when you start to form a conversation through captioned GIFs.
Oh, not even that. There's moments where you don't want to reply to someone because like they've said something and you're like, I don't fucking know what to say to that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, just chuck a funny GIF in.
Yeah.
Just chuck that curveball in and see what happens after that. And then like you've done it and then you've moved on from the awkward
And it could
point.
potentially snowball into a GIF conversation.
Exactly. And that's what's beautiful about the internet.
Exactly.
And these EU politicians,
goddamn MEPs,
trying to tell us what we can't watch. What about GIF porn? Is that a thing?
GIF porn.
I think there's porn on GIFs.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever been on Tumblr?
No, I haven't actually. Well, not for a very long
Tumblr
time.
is full of like
Shit.
GIF porn.
And your subscribers
Well, porn GIFs.
are all off.
Not my no.
Your fan base.
Not my Tumblr.
is
I mean,
from
like Tumblr is generally like there's the depressing side of Tumblr, the horny side of Tumblr, and that's basically
But
it now.
all your YouTube subscribers are pro Tumblr.
I'm not. I don't think so, to be honest.
Should ask them.
Who goes on Tumblr? Good response, guys.
Now do we just sit in silence for 2 weeks until
Yeah.
someone responds?
Well, we've hit an hour 30 on this podcast. This was, like we said at the beginning, very much a pilot, an experiment to see how it went. We're going to upload it to my YouTube channel and see where it goes.
Or if we just threw like a massive curveball and just upload it on mine that nobody knows about, and that's it.
Oh my god.
So tell them what it's called.
I'm just going to call it Pilot Podcast Number 1.
Yeah.
The
They're already
ramblings. Oh, we could call it like the...
No, I've just realised the flaw in my plan.
What?
Is if anyone's already watching this, they've already found it.
Oh yeah.
So this is...
I could put this at the beginning.
Fuck YouTube.
Fuck YouTube. Okay. We're going to stop the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, we hope you enjoyed listening to our ramblings and weird conversations and discussions. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you do give it a thumbs up. It will make us... Okay. Give it a thumbs up anyway. It'll show us that you are actually interested in listening to these podcasts and we could do some more in the future.
I have one last request.
What's your last request?
If anyone's watched like right to this point, like I think we keep it running just a little bit longer just so it's not right at the end.
Okay.
So let's ask them a question. Let's just do a better job that they did. 'Cause their questions were shit. I'm joking.
I'm joking. I'm sorry. Let's ask them a question. This could be the podcast question of the.
Yeah, and then on the next one, if people like it, we can respond to the answers.
Yeah.
And then that can be a thing.
That's basically Yai, which is Jack's film.
I don't know what that is.
Yesterday I asked you Jack's films. He just like gives them a question and then they go on Twitter and they respond to him on Twitter.
That's all. A lot of, to be fair, a lot of content on YouTube is just that.
It is.
That's what YouTube is now. It's people.
We'll ask you a question just to answer it in the comments, and that's all that happens.
Yeah.
What question could we ask them? Thanks for watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, and if we think of any questions, we'll pop them in the next one if you really want to listen to any more of this complete rambling.
I mean, I think even if people don't like it, we should just do it anyway, because it's fun.
I'd still do it.
I'd still do it.
Alright. Bye then.
Wait, I've got a fart.
Fuck's sake.